From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 4th, 2022. A ceremony was held today marking the transfer of 100 tons of Israeli humanitarian aid to Ukraine. The tons of aid were coordinated by Israel's Agency for International Development Cooperation, Mashav, under the instructions of Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett and Foreign Minister Yair Lapid. It was transferred via Poland, and the head of Mashav, Ambassador Einat Schlein, and Israel's ambassador to Poland, Yaakov Livne, were on hand in Poland, where Livne shared his gratitude to the country for its assistance.
I would like to thank very much the government of Poland for giving us this opportunity to bring necessary aid from the State of Israel to Ukraine. This is very important for us. The ability to assist the people of Ukraine in this difficult hour.
Schlein said, "I'm proud to be an Israeli citizen and to be leading Israel's assistance to the Ukrainian people at this difficult time."
We are here, we are supportive, and we will provide assistance also in the future. Thank you, sir.
The loaded trucks carrying the aid left the Polish Emergency Authority facility and headed to Lviv in Ukraine today. Prime Minister Bennett met yesterday with the head of U.S. Central Command, General Kenneth McKenzie, in Jerusalem. Bennett's office said the two discussed the common security challenges facing Israel and the U.S., especially Iran's aggression in the region. That the Prime Minister emphasized the tangible danger in the major powers signing the nuclear agreement if and when that occurs. Bennett thanked McKenzie for his contribution to strengthening security and stability in the region and for the significant cooperation between the State of Israel and the U.S. during his tenure. McKenzie is expected to retire from the military in the next few months. IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Aviv Kochavi was present as well, and the IDF held a special ceremony in McKenzie's honor. Bennett spoke last night with International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Mariano Grossi just before he heads to Iran. Bennett's office said that he emphasized Israel's positions regarding the nuclear talks in Vienna, as well as the situation regarding the open cases in the IAEA that deal with the Iranian weapons program. Bennett's office said he also emphasized Israel's expectation that the IAEA will act as a professional and impartial supervisory body. Well, a lawsuit was filed against Ben & Jerry's and its parent company Unilever after its boycott decision last summer. The Louis D. Brandeis Center for Human Rights Under Law, who is representing the plaintiff, said yesterday that the manufacturer and distributor of Ben & Jerry's in Israel, Avi Zinger, of American Quality Products, is suing Ben & Jerry's and Unilever for unlawfully terminating its 34-year business relationship in order to boycott Israel, asking the court to enable Zinger to continue selling Ben & Jerry's throughout Israel. Ben & Jerry's, if you recall, announced last July that it would not sell its product in what it called the occupied Palestinian territory, referring there to the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Zinger said, "I refused Ben & Jerry's and Unilever's illegal demands, and as a result, they are threatening to close my business, affecting hundreds of Israeli and Palestinian workers and distributors." Brandeis Center President Eliza Lewin, who is one of the attorneys representing Zinger, said Unilever is destroying a successful business that provides jobs for refugees, new immigrants, and the disabled, economic opportunity for Palestinians, financial support for Israeli-Palestinian peace and coexistence programs, and education and training for Palestinian students and farmers. Avi's business, she said, makes Ben & Jerry's available to all consumers throughout Israel, Palestinians and Israelis alike. Unilever is shutting all of this down only because Avi refuses to agree to its demand that he boycott customers based on where they live, a move which would harm Palestinian consumers most of all. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, March the 4th. Coming up at 6 o'clock, it's live Shabbat services from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. At 8:30, Rabbi and musician Zach Fredman plays his original melody to the Song of Moses and Miriam from the book of Exodus and talks about how a literal reading of the Torah Portion influenced his composition. At 9, it's the film The Law, telling of Holocaust survivor and women's rights champion Simone Veil. At 10:30, a replay of the services from the Hampton Synagogue and then from Central Synagogue. And coming up next, it's a look at this week's Torah Portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 4th, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well, and Shabbat Shalom.